All right, guys, so today we are back working on the Sierra, and I got a 2.4 drop kit going in. But before we get to work, I gotta shuffle some cars around, make a little room, because I'm not fitting anything in the garage. So this whole thing's got to be done outside in the blazing sun, which is always nice. Now Trans Am fans, 3rd gen fans, I hear you. Camaro's kind of just been sitting around, but the Trans Am I do drive from time to time. I drive it in the spring and then it gets stupid hot out, and because I don't have the AC hooked up, I don't want to drive it anymore. So that's kind of how it's been going, but when I do get in this thing, holy crap. I'm not gonna lie, I might actually like this thing better than the Camaro. But so far it's been doing, yeah, it's freaking blazing hot in here. These T-tops, man, holy crap. Is it fogging the camera up? It is. That's how hot it is in here. My God. All right. Whew. It's been doing pretty good. There's no giant puddles of water in it. We have been getting a lot of rain. Next video, I promise, next video, we're finally putting the interior back in this thing. I think it passed the T-top test well enough for me to, you know, put new carpet and stuff in it. And yes, this is the interior. That is what's supposed to go in the car. I have it, it's here, it's ready to go in, just needs to be cleaned up. We still gotta wire a couple of things. I gotta do the speedo and the tack, and I think that's it. Run a few stereo wires, but it's going in next video, finally. All right, we're all jacked up. We're gonna start with the front, which should be the easier part. So this is everything I grabbed. I got Belltech 2508 drop spindles. This is a 2.4 drop, and you can see all it does is move the position of the hub 2 inches higher into the wheel well, and that's how you get your drop. It doesn't mess with like the spring rate or anything like that, which is good. It should ride pretty much stock. And then for the rear, instead of doing an axle flip, I got another Belltech kit where this is just going to move the hanger for the leaf spring further up into the truck as well, and then the shackles back here to match. So with all that done, we should have a clean 2.4 drop and not mess with like the, you know, the ride of the truck too much. Yeah, I'm starting with the shady side of the truck. Seems like a good plan. It's fine. All right, so it's the next day. It's only 9:30 in the morning. I'm absolutely dying. I gotta figure out a way to get a pop-up tent going here or something, because this is brutal. I kind of got slowed down yesterday because after I put everything together, the castle nut for the upper ball joint, the stud was rubbing right on the axle there, and the instructions for the kit tell you need to cut that stud away, but the problem when you do that, you're also cutting away half of the hole for the cotter pin. So I had to run to the hardware store and I picked up a couple of these guys. They're just locking nuts, and they're relatively short. So I was able to get on that on there. I was able to cut the stud away. So everything clears great now. And all that's left to do is pop on the tie rod, the brakes, plug in the ABS sensor, and I think that's it. Oh, breeze. That feels nice. And it's gone. ABS wire. That doesn't even come close to going back on where it belongs. Why would they make holes if it doesn't even come close to fitting? Well, now's a better time than any to probably go read the instructions, huh? I don't know, that's showing, and it even tells you to put the brake line bracket and ABS connector in the original location at the top of the spindle. But like, it doesn't even come close. The holes are right there. It doesn't come close to where it needs to sit. It's like the control arm's in the way. Try putting a jack under the spindle. Maybe that'll bring that up. I don't know what you want from me, Belltech. It's not gonna fit. So zip ties it is. Well, I managed to avoid the zip ties. I just re-drilled the hole and flattened that tab down, the locating tab, and then I just globbed it in thread locker so it hopefully doesn't twist. It seems to work. There's enough clearance when the truck's on the ground. You lower it down, it gets a little close, but it's not enough to pinch the brake line, so I think we'll be fine. All right, we got our ABS plugged in. Everything looks good. Something I noticed, it's getting a little close over here by the inner tie rod. I got the suspension jacked up now, so how the truck would sit on the ground. You can see we got room with the brake line and everything. But right here, that inner boot is coming mighty close to that stabilizer bar. And when I lower it down, it completely just sits on it. So I think some longer end links are in order, but of course I don't have those now. So let's go ahead and throw the wheel back on. But before we do that, Superclean sent me another care package. So let's really kind of clean those wheels up, because the insides, I never clean when I wash the truck. So now's the time to do it. Wheels aren't in the best shape, but they are 20s, and they clear the lower bowl joint without a problem. They actually give you a nut in the kit. It's like a low profile nut. If you're running, I think 17 is the minimum wheel that you could run with this kit. It's basically just a smaller nut where you got to do the same thing as I did with the upper bowl joint, where you got to cut the stud off and put a small nut so it doesn't, the lower doesn't hit against the wheel. But being I'm running 20s, we got about an inch of clearance, maybe a little bit less. Also, I don't know if anybody noticed, but I stole the steering wheel out of the Tahoe. I stole the radio out of the Tahoe, and I also stole the not the cluster, but the red needles out of the Tahoe, because I had to go in there to change a couple bolts. Let's just give this a little. Oh. We'll see where we're sitting. I mean, this is stupid. It's only one side that's been lowered so far, but. Oh yeah, we're down. Well, that's not going to do anything, is it? probably be a good time to change the, most likely, 210,000 mile ball joints. Well, yeah, the top one's new, because I put these control arms in not long ago, but the bottom one is definitely original. Call me crazy, but I like to torque my axle every once in a while. Alright guys, so it's the next day. Thankfully it's a little bit cooler out. And before we start messing with the leaf springs, I want to drop the gas tank, because on and off, ever since I got this thing, you guys may remember from my first video, it had to check engine light for a small evap leak. I did the vent valve, the purge valve. I inspected all the lines. Like, I don't see any leaks in the lines or anywhere. And that light sporadically just kind of comes on every few months. And it says the same thing, small evap leak. It has a new gas cap. The filler neck looks fine. So I'm thinking maybe the top of the gas tank, the you know, the hat for the fuel pump is rotted out, because that's a pretty common problem with these trucks. So I get a new pump. Also, when I stick my head in here, I do smell fuel. And we got to come in here with a grinding wheel and cut these spring hangers off right where that fuel smell is. So I'd rather just be safe than sorry. We'll pull that down. I got a new pump to throw in. I got nice new straps. We'll see what's going on with that. Maybe we can fix another problem while we're doing this drop kit. The past few weeks driving this thing, I would like sporadically hear this like thud from the back of the truck, and I thought maybe like one of the bed bolts came off or the bed was loose or something. But no, I just found the noise. Rear fuel tank strap. Is it completely gone? It is completely gone. Look at that. It's actually, the only thing holding it together is this rubber. All right, well, I'm glad I'm pulling this thing down then. Front one's fine. Yeah, that'll do it. Also, we do have a broken bed bolt right there. So that could also be the noise. I know you guys are probably wondering, hey Matt, why don't you just pull the bed off? It's gonna be a hell of a lot easier to get to the pump. I don't gotta pull the whole tank down. And then I could just, you know, zip the rear strap out, pop a new one on without having to touch the thing. First of all, the bed bolts we just found, that one in particular, that's broken. I don't feel like dealing like with that today, with the rest of them potentially snapping. The other thing, I'm kind of a one-man band here, so I work evenings. So everybody that I know that could potentially come and, you know, help me pull this off, they're at work. So, yeah, sure, I could wait and like do it on the weekend. I'm kind of impatient though, so I'm like, if I could get something done now, even though I got to do it the little shittier way, I'm gonna impatiently do it the little shittier way, or even the lot of shittier way, just because that's kind of how I am. I'm used to working that way. So I'll just inhale a bunch of rust and drop this tank out. Which these are always a pain in the ass. You go and remove them. A lot of times a little cage nut in there just spins. That's always fun. It's actually coming out. Oh my God, I can't believe that came out. I got new ones too. Well, the back one's already broken, but let's just, I gotta remove it anyway. Both out. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta get the filler neck off. I knew it was missing something. I can't believe those came out though. Get these out of here, why not? Got some fresh boys going in. Alright. This feels alright. It's very, very light. I'm glad I ran the gas out of this thing. Oh my God, what is this? Oh, Jesus. Oh. Huh. Oh, that holds the shock, huh? Oh boy. I knew it was probably there, but I was telling myself, it's probably alright. I'll tell you one thing, it is not alright. You know, even if this isn't the source of my evap leak, I'm so glad I pulled it apart. This is the main feed for the fuel pump. Yeah, probably the source of the leak, the evap leak. Soon to be a gas leak. Well, you know, this actually looks like it might be. Evap leak looks a little wet in there. Yeah, so right move was putting a pump in this thing. Wrong move was looking up under, above the gas tank. Horrible move. Look at that. I want to throw up. Yeah, okay, well, that's something. I mean, at least the left shock doesn't mount there. It mounts all the way back there. The right shock mounts on that, but that is ugly. Now, I had a feeling this was going to be a thing. A few years back, I had to put a fuel pump in my Tahoe because that went bad. I didn't make a video on it. And when I pulled it down, I found the same thing. Not nearly as bad, but one of the two cross members, I think it was this back one on that too, it's the same thing. It has like a giant rot hole in it because all salt and crap gets caught up there. Apparently, it's like a really common problem with these trucks, or like a common thing that happens. The thing is, you know, they make parts, they make that cross member, you just cut it out and put a new one in. But the thing is, I'm like, it's gonna be a pain. It's something you're gonna want to pull the bed off to do, but we're kind of in this weird position where I was not at all planning to have to mess with anything like this, whatever this is right now. I guess I'm gonna have to. So for the sake of this video, and this is supposed to primarily just be a video of me lowering the truck, we're gonna continue lowering the truck. We're gonna take the gas tank, I'll pop the new pump in, we'll throw it in the garage for now, and we're gonna continue lowering the truck. Oh my God. It's just so impacted with rust. Yeah. You could keep it. No, you could keep that too. Forgive me for not having any brass drifts. Ouch. Over there. Crusty, huh? Now I know I bought a friggin' lock ring. Where the hell it is? I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Guess who's going back on? I gotta go source a few hoses. But at least the pump's in. We're getting somewhere. Actually, I think I'm just gonna call this one here. I got some parts on order. I went down to the dealer. I ordered the new feed line that connects to that yellow line that goes to the hard line on the truck. Couldn't get that broken piece out of the end of that. I managed to save this little evap line. I got the metal out of that one, and then I ordered this big guy here too. So all that stuff's on its way. I should have it sometime next week. As for the truck itself, I got it back on the ground, and I did go and just, you know, dive right in. I unbolted the bed. So 6 of the 8 bolts came out without a problem. Actually, all 6 of them came out without a problem. The other 2, one of them was already broken on the driver's side, and then one was already broken on the passenger side. Just the heads are gone. I don't know if they rusted off. Somebody tried to pull them in the past. But at least I got 6 out. We'll deal with the other ones once the bed's off. And I decided not to just continue with the lift or the drop, because the bed's coming off anyway, and it's going to be a hell of a lot easier to cut those rivets for the spring hanger and deal with the shackles without the bed in the way. So parts are on the way. I got to order the braces too. We're going to be fixing next, and we're probably just going to go ahead and clean the frame and like coat it with something as well. I wouldn't be surprised you're probably going to see this thing in the next video, because finally I'm going to put the interior back in it.